We will call to order the regular board meeting of the Chicago Board of Election Commissioners. Good morning, my name is Marisel Hernandez. Seated to my right is Commissioner Kresse, and to my left is Commissioner Jonathan Swain. Next item on the agenda is the consideration of the agenda. Are there any proposed changes?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yes, Madam Chair. Under new business, the agreement between the board, MCI, and Verizon, I'd like to defer that to the next meeting, if you don't mind.
Okay. Is there a motion to amend the agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the regular board meeting minutes of July 9, 2019. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next is the Executive Director's report. Mr. Gough.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to go over some items, on Wednesday, August 21st, we were at the bill signing for Senate Bill 2090 and House Bill 2541. So the governor did sign those, they're in place, now we have to make it happen. We've had some meetings, we're scheduling meetings to meet with the Sheriff's Office, and we're meeting with the Shriver Sitter on the 10th to talk about House Bill 2541. That's where it's an educational piece. We worked on the pamphlets. We're supposed to review those on that meeting so we can send those out. So I just wanted the board members to be aware of that.
Great, thank you. And it got very good and positive reviews on the media, and so I'm very happy and that you were, Mr. Gough, at the forefront there of all of this for a long time, and I'm glad you were able to be at the press conference with the governor.
Thank you so much. Yeah, 2 years it took to get this passed, but it passed. Today, Adam's going to talk about the Community Safety Oversight Board and his report. We met with the city. There are some issues that they did not understand about elections to pick the oversight board. And Adam, myself, and Jim Allen met with them, the city twice, and we had a phone conference. So he'll report on that piece for you. And as you could see yesterday, last night at 4:43, we received a draft contract from Dominion. We have not had a chance to go over that. As soon as we do, we will then send that information to you. I need to have that in some place because September 11th, we are supposed to meet about our budget, city budget. So that's going to be a big part of it. So I want the board to be aware of that. And everything else seems to be going well. We have a new project manager from Dominion, and he will be at the next board meeting, and at every board meeting he'll give a report on where we're at. So I'm very pleased with it.
What, just to refresh my recollection, what is the split between the county and city relative to voting equipment?
The city pays for all of the voting equipment. Okay. So it's 100% in the city. The city, the county only pays certain areas on the election.
Got it, okay, got it.
Thank you, Mr. Gough. Mr. Holliday?
Good morning, Madam Chair and fellow commissioners. Well, getting a little busy and kind of excited. I'm the project manager for the rollout of our new equipment. As you can see in the corner, we have it over there. I have assembled a team for the rollout, and we're working with the project manager from Dominion. As Mr. Gough said, he will be here at the next board meeting. It's Alex Soto Vasquez. So far, our meetings with him have been very positive. He's very thorough, and he has us moving in the right direction.
Continue. Thank you. Mr. Allen?
Good morning. I'll brief you individually, separately on observations and lessons we learned at DEF CON. Attended there primarily because there was going to be some discussion relative to websites, including ours. It was a highly informative session, and I actually look forward to going back to that again because there's not enough election jurisdiction participation. There is a strong presence at the federal level on all of the panels, by the way. Federal government, the Homeland Security, Coast Guard, which is heavy into security.
Just for the record, DEF CON is the annual convention of, these would be called white hat hackers and stuff?
Oh, it's all varieties of hackers.
Okay.
It's so there are good guys, bad guys, everybody in between.
White, black, gray.
It's about 20,000 individuals spread across 4 different venues, and voting is actually just one small section of their activities there. So but it is a concentrated area, and it's not all 100% positive in terms of their reviews or their thoughts as far as election jurisdictions. It's also not 100% negative. So I found people in the hacking world who understood and defended and also opposed online voting very strongly. That was one of the key things where there was unanimity. One person proposed it, and the entire room just shot it down and said, no way.
I think you left your laptop at home.
I did not bring my laptop,
Yeah, I think that was
and I
wise.
kept my cell phone in a Faraday bag. You know, so Adam is going to be talking about our meetings with the mayor's staff on the election code as it relates to pending ordinance on elected offices, the canvas notices, putting the final touches on those. We got the proofs from the printer, and the email solicitation webpage is ready to go, so that when we drop that, hopefully with as soon as we get the postage within the next 4 days.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is old business, infrastructure projects and changes in election administration and voting equipment. I believe we've discussed that. Electronic poll books, is there anything new?
Not a whole lot. We're in the discussion phase about the cost of putting the ADA form on the poll book. Not too much in agreement with it, but they're gonna come back at us and we'll see what they come up with.
And legislation.
Nothing new at the moment.
We will then proceed to new business, which is the approval of the Chicago Board of Elections 2020 election calendar for the 2020 primary and general elections. Mr. Lasker?
Thank you very much. The State Board of Elections released their 2020 election campaign finance calendar last week, and so now we're prepared to go forward with ours as well. Thank you very much to Trish for her assistance with the project. And it is, of course, built on the same model that we've been using prior years, updated with dates and deadlines.
Any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve the 2020 Chicago Board of Elections calendar?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is the approval of a motion to withdraw request for reconsideration of removal of a judge of election. Mr. Lasker?
Yes, thank you. We did have a judge removal on April 2nd. The judge filed a request for reconsideration. June Brown was appointed the hearing officer. We conducted 1 day of hearings, and then the hearing is to be continued. But in the interim, the judge submitted a request to withdraw the request for reconsideration. And so you have received your final written report recommendation from June Brown, where she recommends granting the motion to withdraw the request for reconsideration, thereby leaving in place the issue. I concur.
I suppose we should put the name in.
Well, notice that.
Yes. Okay. Are there any, I reviewed the materials, are there any questions? If not, the board received a request for reconsideration from Judge Ora Dolores Millsap, a judge of election, who the board removed from office in the 11th precinct of the 3rd Ward on Election Day on April 2nd, 2019. However, the board has since received a motion by that election judge seeking to withdraw the request for reconsideration. The board has reviewed a final report and recommendation from its hearing officer suggesting that the motion to withdraw should be granted. Is there a motion to grant the withdrawal and to dismiss the reconsideration hearing regarding Ms. Ora Dolores Millsap? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next item is a legal report. Mr. Lasker.
Thank you. I'd like to start off just by pointing out that, as you know, we are involved with the Association of Election Commission Officials of Illinois, otherwise known as AECOI, and we, together with them, drafted just a pamphlet on information about what election commissions are. Every member agency thought that it could just be helpful to have something to hand to people and remind them as to why the commissions exist, with our court-appointed commissioners and the wall between the county clerk being elected partisan official handling elections as compared to you appointed folks. So I just wanted to let you know that we've got this available here at the offices, and there's a copy for your commissioners as well.
Thank you.
Now, you've heard of some mention of this ordinance to create a police accountability commission, and we have been meeting with the city on it. It was just a few weeks ago that we received a copy of the draft ordinance that's been proposed, and the city is, many different departments of the city are working. We were first notified actually by the budget department. We've had meetings, they were curious about what kind of financial impact we thought the proposed changes might have. And then we've also met with the Corporation Counsel's office. This is a plan that's being pushed by an organization called GAPA, which I believe stands for Grassroots Alliance for Police Accountability. These are their ideas. They've apparently been working with the city for a couple of years on trying to get this stuff through. We just heard about it a few weeks ago. And obviously our position is limited only to how this would affect elections. I'm sure that creating a commission is a great idea, but there are certainly some proposals in the current draft ordinance that would have us somewhat concerned about how it would work. For example, we're proposing that this would be a nonpartisan election to be held in November of the general election years. And that is Commissioner Kresse is confused. That's our partisan election cycle. And so we have a little concern about how it would work to put a nonpartisan election into the partisan election cycle. We're not talking about having a primary for it, so there would be no March primary. We put the candidates directly on in November, and there's just not a mechanism for that currently in the election code. We have proposed that they could perhaps do this during our municipal election cycle in the odd number years, when we have a nonpartisan election anyway, and when we're electing our city officers anyway. That would obviously work a lot smoother for the city, and not just us administratively, but I think for the voters to understand what's going on. Electing city officers in the city cycle just makes sense to it for voters. The problem there is that they're proposing 2-year terms for these officers, whereas all of our city officers have 4-year terms. We only do an election every 4 years unless there are vacancies to be filled in that midterm for the city. So we are also going to be meeting with GAPA, and hopefully they'll take some of our concerns into consideration. We can do it every 2 years, but it's much more expensive because it's $10 or $12 million or so to go out there and do an election in a year where we might not have to for any other offices. So there's issues like that. Another significant issue is, as I've mentioned, we received an ordinance. It appears that the city was going to try enacting this by ordinance. And my concern is that Article 7, Section 6F of the Illinois Constitution says that home rule municipalities are limited in their authority when it comes to the creation of officers, their manner of selection, and their terms of office. And here, the proposal is to elect 3 officials from each police district. There are 22 police districts in the city. So we would be electing 66 new officers. That's the creation of 66 new elected officers. Obviously, the terms of office, current proposal is 2 years, maybe one that would be 4 years. And their manner of selection is what's key at issue here. Is it nonpartisan, partisan, even year, odd year? Is there a primary, no primary? So these are all what the Constitution expressly says. Home rule authority doesn't let you do this. You have to either have a referendum or an authorizing statute. So we're going to raise that red flag to them that if they try to do this by ordinance, it very well could be challenged. They might need to work with Springfield to get a statute that allows this, unless they want to accomplish it by conducting a referendum. They were ideally wanting to start with this November of 2020, but if the referendum would have to happen, they'd better get that on the March ballot. So then using...
I want to clarify.
Yes.
So what you are saying is for the creation of any of these police district-wide offices, in either case, state legislation needs to be passed to allow for the creation.
Unless they have a referendum get approved.
Yeah, well, let's get a referendum. So whether they choose, whether if there's a choice in the ordinance that says November or February, it doesn't matter. You still have to have state law to authorize the creation of these offices.
That is my opinion, yes.
Okay.
The Constitution.
So you may or may not know this. Do the people that are opposed to this ordinance, have they engaged in the election council?
That I do not know. They have not directly reached out to us. The city, now that the city has reached out to us and we've met with them, they're in the process right now of scheduling a meeting with you.
I guess I'm going to presume, just knowing you out of your recommendation that either they engage on the council to be able to have their own recommendations. We can read the law as we say that we believe it, but if you want to advocate for whatever you can do, that needs to be done by your own council, right?
Well, certainly your general counsel does not represent GAP.
Right.
I'm giving them my legal opinion, but they've already, what we've heard from the city is they've already said they might disagree with my opinion on this. I think if they were to hire their own lawyer, take the time to draft a memo with, what I've done for the city is mention that there's a substantial body of case law interpreting and upholding that section of the Constitution. It's a section I've done quite a fair amount of legal work with, but to my knowledge, no election attorney from GAP has reached out. I would highly recommend this. And then, just to finish the whole idea of using police districts as an election district, election districts from every level of elections I could find, starting with United States Congress at the top level, and then state offices, state representative districts, state legislative districts, the judicial districts, our city boards. I believe every election district is required to be set pursuant to population based on the census, so that they're relatively equal in proportion to one person, one vote, and an equal representation issue. Police districts are not drawn based on population, they're drawn based on policing needs. And I'm sure that our police department has a lot of really good reasons for where they draw the district maps. I'm not complaining of whatever methods they use, but they don't have elections in mind. The police department has never been thinking population equality for election purposes. So on the one hand, we've got possible constitutional problems with using current police districts based on they're not uniform. Secondly, I've been informed police districts change much more frequently than every 10 years. It's apparently more fluid. Changes are made based on, again, the need for community safety and higher concentrations in some areas than others. And so we could be seeing changes in the districts. This all, if we're going to map on 22 police districts on top of every other election district we've already got, that creates many more splits in our precincts, many more ballot styles we have to worry about. And then there's the potential issue of these districts changing from time to time. There's not currently a law that I'm aware of that would lock them in, for example, from changing a district 2 weeks before an election or something catastrophic. So we've raised a lot of red flags. We're not trying to rain on people's parade here. This sounds like a really interesting idea, and I'd like, personally, I'd like to see it come to fruition. But we need to make sure that we're doing it in a way that makes sense to the voters, and it doesn't unduly burden the taxpayers in regards to the conduct of the elections.
Thank you, Mr. Lasker.
One more question, Mr. Lasker. What you did not mention is the process for getting on the ballot. Does the ordinance speak anything about the process of getting on the ballot?
It does not, but that is actually another one of the large categories of our concerns. They would be subject, currently every single candidate who files nomination papers under the election code is subject to electoral board objections.
Right.
So unless the law is changed, these candidates would also be subject to electoral board objections.
This is another 66, potential guarantee 66, the recurrent district 66,
New
challenges, offices that could be
challenge,
challenged.
with maybe 1 challenge per seat or 3 challenge. I mean, with automatic awards, sometimes we get 6, 7, 12, 15 challenges per award.
And do they make any comment about how many signatures are required to get on the ballot?
Frankly, I don't remember whether they had proposed to requirement yet.
We did not have the phone.
So it seems as if I'm gathering all of this, I don't take any position about whether it's a good idea or bad idea, but there's a lot that remains to be unfolded as it relates to implementing election of this sort. I presume it's going to be very similar when you start talking about, however, if people talking about like the school boards and how that is. It's going to be a very similar process in terms of determining how we're going to do all these things remotely.
That's correct. Yeah. And with all due respect to GAPA, the city did recognize that, said to us that they've been working for 2 years on trying to nail down what this actual body is going to do. These 66 people appoint 12 that appoint the 9-member commission, and what are their rights and duties. They're looking at the substance of it.
Got it.
And it appears that they have not really had.
But it seems like there's a big procedural hurdle based on what structure.
And that hurdle is now.
Which is starts with state law.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay. We will then proceed to the financial report. We have a balance sheet and voucher listing for the City of Chicago. A 2019 appropriation number 19-04 dated August 27, 2019 in the amount of $1,586,712.86. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Next on the agenda is public comment. We have one request for public comment. Mr. George Blakemore. Mr. Blakemore, welcome. And
welcome.
you have
welcome.
5 minutes for a public comment.
Smile in the face. Don't welcome me. I have a right to be here. I came on another issue. But listening to this report about the police accountability, I'm changing my topic. This is urgent in the black community. Black lives matter, black blood matter. This is institutional racism in our city. These are road police, how they treat their black constituents, their black people that they're supposed to be serving. So I challenge you here, this Board of Elections, and these other political hacks, alter, and these old state, you come in with the state. You say the state have to approve. I don't know how you're going to work out this, but it's needed. It's urgent that our police must be accountable to the citizens, to black citizens. So again, when you say, welcome you here, I came on another issue. That issue was dealing with the signatures. To you sent me a letter. I wanted to know, when was this implemented? When and who governor signed that they can withdraw their signature? You didn't put the date and time and who. All of you all connected, and you passed the buck. The city says it's the state, and the state says it's the city. We have state legislators. We have state senators. I want you, and the citizens want you, to take care of that too. Well, down in Springfield, we have lobbyists here in the city. That when one signs a signature sheet, that is fine. Don't come back. And don't use the state. We don't have nothing to do. We got to go along with the state. The state, all of y'all are connected. All of you are connected. So you get it back down to the state legislature. That should never happen. I was appalled. It never happened in our Board of Elections. Somebody come back with an affidavit saying, I want to withdraw my signature. This nonsense, this shenanigans that you all are playing, and I'm particular white folks, on black people. On black people. And this is a mess here. Why would you have it at 9:30 in the morning? Why wouldn't you have it where people could come, working class people, could come between 5 and 6:30? Why do you have these meetings and nobody's here? And we have one public speaker, Mr. Blakeman, and then you'll howl, your 5 minutes is up. Your 5 minutes is up. You should be glad to have somebody from the public to come in and to speak. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had any public comment. And that would show that this is bad government. Bad government when you don't have public participation. We are taxpayers. You serve us. I don't serve you. You. Why can't you mainstream this umbrella where the people at home can be able to see it? Don't you have an outreach? Don't you want to bring the public here? No, you don't. No, you don't. And I'm appalled what you said, police accountability. It's just going to be so difficult. How difficult is it when black blood is flowing with institutional racism? And then illegal people are voting too. Come up with an affidavit. That's insufficient to vote. Raise your eyes and look. 5 minutes is out. I'm appalled to that nonsense that you have here. That's why we'll never overcome. When will we overcome? Someday. What is that day gonna be? When? With these blacks sitting on these boards. Sally, your time is up. Yes. Now go adjourn this nonsense. Adjourn this mess.
Mr. Lasker, is there a need for executive session?
Adjourn it.
Okay. If not,
Adjourn.
is there a motion to adjourn to the next regularly scheduled meeting on September 10th at 9:30 a.m.?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Yes.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Adjourn.